So, for anyone familiar with Shadow Dragon's characters, you may have noticed that there are a few we haven't really even heard mention of just yet. There are only a handful left, but I've got the feeling that a certain few are fairly crucial, considering Hardin is the villain. There are a couple of guys who might be super loyal to him, and I don't know how we haven't heard about him just yet, but I think you can guess who that is, considering they're right on screen. And mostly eyeless. Roshea somehow manages to be the creepiest, though. Why does he just have that detailless purple eye? It looks weird. Oh, this must be a death check, because Marth always does the death checks. Yeah, I mean, the last one wasn't so bad. Anri's Way was like the most difficult thing. But anyway, yeah, you'll never see any of the other versions of this cutscene in this LP, because I never let anyone die, even in the alternate run. Oh, I don't want to make Marth sad. Like I was saying last time, he's kinda static, but I don't want to forcefully make that incorrect, because then he's just going to be sad about deaths. Anyway, how is everyone? Including Seda, who is, you know, I know she wants to keep Marth safe, but don't die, Seda. I don't want you dying. That's useless for you. Strength and resistance increased. Alright, who do we have to talk to today? Ah, Katarina. Very good. We got the first one of these. Of course, this isn't actually the only support that Katarina has. Stand here really close to you. Wink. Oh, god damn it, Iris. Oh my god, I love how oblivious she is. I'll do anything. Hey, want to train? Okay. Anyway, here's the other conversation. Well, I suppose it makes sense that not everybody would be so trusting of Katarina, but I wouldn't worry too much about Cecil. I get the feeling she'll warm up quickly. Anyway, though, we're done with those conversations, cause now we're talking to Jagan. Glad we're not having a pleasant chat with him, cause let me tell you, I don't think any chat with that guy is pleasant anymore. Anyway, here's a fairly basic battlefield. whole lot of generals over here, but they're just gonna stand here for the time being. So, what else could be on this map? Because this seems pretty boring at the moment. Oh, look, it's the Wolf Guard. And there's 4 dudes that we know, and, heh heh heh, oh boy. So let's talk to Jagan about them. Also, this is one of my favorite lines coming up. Okay, so this is great. They have sworn loyalty to Hardin and would die for him, of course, we know that. Iris, their loyalty is comparable to yours, and then Iris immediately knows exactly what that means. What it means for this chapter is, they are going to be out for our blood. I mean, even Roshea, who's kinda doubting this, which, you know, makes sense considering actual demon Hardin. Yeah, oh no, we're traveling along the mountain pass. How horrible. We need to protect actual demon Hardin. Why would you want our clearly possessed boss to be defeated by Altia? Oh my god, Sedgar, why? God damn it, you people are dumb. Yeah, Roshea's the only one who's got the right idea. I mean, he... literal demon, my dude. Come on, for fuck's sake! I mean, okay, we'll get more into their loyalty later, but like, goddamn. They do come off as incredibly stupid in this chapter. Anyway though, unfortunately, Roshea's still gonna fight us because he succumbed to peer pressure. So yeah, it seems like we must fight the Wolf Guard. However... Oh, well, if Horless has no plans for war, then that means they'll retreat. We just need to go to that village real quick. Well, that seems like a pretty good outcome. Let's do that. Okay, so, you can make this chapter incredibly easy by starting with the Warp Staff right off the bat. You can warp Marth over to the village and have him enter it, and then you won't have to worry about the Wolf Guard at all. That being said, though, you do miss out on a bit of experience. I do have to warn you, however, if you do it like I'm doing it, and you let the Wolf Guard come to you, and you take the 2 turns it takes to get Marth over here, or to the village rather, then, this isn't going to be easy. Because as you can see, I have tagged the main members of the Wolf Guard who, by the way, you don't want to kill. Because if you kill them here, they're dead for good. They're not going to retreat until they hear the signal, so, yeah, do be cautious. That being said, that also means that in order for you to not kill them, and for them to not kill you, you kinda have to play it smart and box them in. Which, of course, is easier said than done, because, like, you know, they're kinda cavaliers, and while this area is a little bit thin, it's not exactly a choke point, so if you don't play it exactly right, they are going to be able to slip through. As it stands, they can do quite a bit of damage to characters who are prepared for damage, which isn't ideal either. Oh, and of course, I should mention the lunatic version of this chapter before too much time passes. You see, the lunatic version of this chapter is really interesting. There are no extra units amongst the Wolf Guard. However, there are 4 paladins guarding the village. You can still warp Marth onto the tile and have him save the village and get rid of the rest of the Wolf Guard. But if you do that, then of course you're opening yourself up to an attack from 4 paladins. And if I had to guess, they're probably wielding lances. They seem like they're there specifically to prevent you from easily getting to the village with Marth. In addition, there are also 4 Wyvern Riders near the castle. I don't know if they immediately aggro, but even if they don't, if they do, that makes this more difficult. If they don't, then that just makes the end a little trickier, but honestly, the end portion of this chapter is extremely easy. Like, if you can weather this, you can absolutely take care of the rest of the units. Of course, to be fair, again, you don't have to kill all of these guys if you're not able to. And quite frankly, it's quite realistic to say that you might not be able to take care of this rabble on your first time through, because they're really tough. And the Wolfguard themselves, again, they can kill you pretty easily. To be fair, if they aim for the wrong person, you can also kill them pretty easily, which is also bad. Unless you want to kill the Wolfguard, which, to be fair, they're pretty vicious. We've fought former allies before, but, like, even Astrum wasn't this dedicated to a single person. I mean, sure, yeah, he wanted to defend Nina, but, like, angry as he wasn't nearly as dedicated as even one member of the Wolfguard. Which is why it's a good thing we're speaking to King Orlis. That's his name, King Orlis. First name King, last name Orlis. You know, to be fair, it is kinda easy to forget that Orlis exists in this game. They don't really do much until this point. At which point, King Orlis is like, yeah, no, I'm gonna signal a retreat, we don't want to fight ya. Sorry, I needed the EXP. So, this is tragic that King Orlis's only brother is, well, an actual demon. But this is a bit of an important plot point right here. You might have noticed in the last episode, Shima entrusted Gra to Marth, and now King Orlis is entrusting, well, Orlis to Marth. So, yeah, while not that big a deal has been made about this, Marth is actually the owner of 3 countries now. You can probably see where this is heading. For the time being, though, that is the last missable item. So the Lifesphere automatically heals whoever's holding it. It's a very good item, so, you know, you should get it. It's real good. It'll also help you beat the game. As in, you can actually complete it fully. But anyway, yeah, the Lifesphere is the last missable item. I did say, though, that the Geosphere is the last easily missable item. I think it's feasible to miss the Geosphere if you happen to forget about that thief, because the thief is out of the way. And, like, if you either forget about the dialogue or you just skipped over it, then you might miss the thief entirely. That being said, though, not getting the Lifesphere means you're making this chapter a lot more difficult for yourself, and it also means you have to kill the Wolfguard in the... well, I guess to be fair, you could conceivably beat the chapter without killing the Wolfguard, but like, they're mounted units. It'd be really difficult to do that. I would not want to take up that challenge myself. You would just have to constantly have units shielding you from them. Like, you'd have to go into this section with a wall of high defense units just standing there doing nothing so that nobody gets hurt, ally or enemy. Anyway, like I said, if those 4 Wyvern Riders don't aggro on you at the beginning of this chapter, then it makes this a little more difficult. They are kind of in a weird position. They're like a little above and to the right of the current set of enemies. So that could be kind of weird. They might fly in at a weird angle, but that's the worst that could happen. Otherwise, these Armor Knights really aren't a problem. I gave Board the Lifesphere because it really helps him, especially right now because he's taking a lot of shots when he's not exactly a tank. He's an HP sponge, but he's not a tank. Those are different. Anyway, here's a secret shop. I'm not going to be buying anything from here, which is why I didn't bring the silver card. I believe that's 3 Master Seals and 1 Elysian Whip. This is the final Elysian Whip you can get, so if you're planning on using all the White Wings like I am on my other file, you're going to want to use it. Or, you know, just 3 Pegasus Knights in general. 3 Pegasus Knights that you're not going to want to give a Wyvern because, you know, I think Pegasus Knights are pretty good because they have resistance. Having flying units with resistance is pretty good in my book, I'm just gonna say. Maybe that's a hot take, but generally, I think flying and having high resistance, pretty good combination. Anyway though, yeah, like I said, not a particularly useful secret shop to me, but if you're running behind on Master Seals, or if you're using a whole lot of units, then having an extra 3 isn't half bad. But I don't need any of that. I have spare Master Seals as is, and there's no point in buying a thing just to resell it. And wow, that is kind of a mediocre level. So, yeah, we're just about done. The boss is generic, so no real point fussing about that dude. The only other enemies are just healers, and I don't care about them. It is good experience, but whatever. Good experience, otherwise not a threat. Well, I don't know why I'm saying otherwise not a threat. Not a threat in general. Heh, get it, general. Alright, so let's finish this off. Come on, crit. Aw, no crit. Rats. Oh well, Marth leveled up, and damn, that was a good level. Alright, so, who finished him off? Board. Alright, sure. Looking back, I probably should have done Sirius. He could always use the experience, but hey, so could Board. And he got some, he got a decent level off of that. Okay, so, that's the chapter. It is an interesting one, thanks to the Wolf Guard, but once you're done with them, it's kind of a cakewalk. Of course, again, lunatic difficulty, adding some extra stats and some reforged weapons. Possibly even some high-ranked weapons at this point, but I don't know. I'd imagine it would actually be pretty tough, but normal mode, not bad at all. Alright, well this is a weird point to bring this up, but I guess we wouldn't really have much of a cutscene here otherwise. Oh, but this is important. Oh, you mean basically everyone? Oh dear. Okay, so, we've got a pretty hard time limit now. Not that they'll come up that much in story, but they've got prisoners and they're executing them, so we've got to take care of this right now before Hardin kills anyone else.